What's up, guys? Back with another Twinmotion tutorial. I wanted to break down my experience of using Revit LT to Twinmotion. I understand that Autodesk and Epic have a partnership that allows all Revit users to have Twinmotion integration as part of their subscription to Revit. But what if you don't have the full version of Revit and just have Revit LT? Well, I'm going to show you some of my tips and tricks and processes that I use to help me navigate through this obstacle. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so we are working in Revit LT 2024, and some of the things that I do to take in consideration before I import my 3D model into Twinmotion is that we go to manage and I purge unused. So I use purge to take out any unnecessary assets that are in my Revit model to help lighten the load. So it's not a heavy model. It doesn't come with a lot of unnecessary Revit models that's not even being used in this project. So you can go to check all, and of course it will kind of break down everything that is going to be in your model. And I've already done this, but just kind of walking you through some of the steps that I take before I actually import my model into Twinmotion. Okay, so you'll just say okay, and it's gonna do its thing. It's gonna clean up your model and it's gonna make it a lot lighter. So the next thing you want to do before you import your 3D model out of Revit LT is that we go to File, and then we're going to go to Export, and then you're going to go to FBX. So now we're going to create a FBX file before we import it into Twinmotion. So you can name it whatever you like, whatever is the name of your model, and I'll save it as FBX 2015. You can save it as FBX file.fbx, but for some reason I have issues doing that, so I always just leave it at the latest date, which is 2015, and I check use LOD, and I also check without boundary edge, and then you'll just save that. So once you save it, you can save it onto your desktop or your folder, and then we're going to open it up in Twinmotion. Okay, so when you have your FBX file saved, we want to go ahead and open up your latest Twinmotion. Right now I'm using Twinmotion 2024.1.2. So we're going to go to new scene, and we are in Twinmotion. And after that, we're going to go to import, and we're going to go to click here to import our file, and you're going to go to geometry, and of course you have other options like direct link, animation, landscape, and point cloud, but we're going to go to geometry to import our FBX file. So wherever you save that file, that's where you're going to go to. We're going to open. I'm gonna go to the file itself. All right, so FBX, and I got it saved. So now that I have my file already ready to be open, you can go down the list of options of collapse, keep hierarchy, check full precision UFVs. You can do the full precision normals up axis. You can change any of this. I typically just leave it just like this, keep hierarchy, and I push import. So now it's gonna ask me, or it's gonna kind of tell me about material conflict. Use scene material, use imported material, keep both. So for this here, I don't really worry about this because my FBX file, when you're importing in your FBX file, your Revit LT model, it's not going to come in with any of the materials applied. So normally for me, when I'm designing or I'm modeling in Revit LT, I've already know that my materials would not transfer into Twinmotion. That's the only thing that sucks about having Revit LT. But this is the only way that I've found out to be able to continue to use Revit LT and actually still import my model into Twinmotion. It sucks, but this is kind of our only option. If you have any other options that you're aware of, please let me know. And don't forget to smash that like button for me, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So I don't worry about any of the scene materials because I didn't apply any. We're just gonna start from scratch. So I press OK, and there you go. So now I have my model inside Twinmotion. Okay, so you can move your model up and down, and for me, I go ahead and delete some of the pedestal, the graphics, the cylinder. This stuff I don't even use or need. It's just a little graphic. We can delete that. Okay, so we can go back to our model. So as you can see, my model is looking pretty good. If you design or you have really good modeling skills in Revit, then you don't really have to worry about some of your model being imported into Twinmotion. I haven't had any issues, but this is what my model looks like when I import my Revit LT model into Twinmotion. So as you can see, you don't have any of the materials shown. You're just starting from scratch, which is okay. I know a lot of people do not like to start from scratch. They like to have the seamless materials integrated and already ready to go and ready to render. Well, if you're working with Revit LT like me, you have to start from scratch. And sometimes it's good to start from scratch. You want to apply some of the new materials that Twinmotion has to offer. Okay, so now I want to show you a couple tricks that I use bringing in my Revit model. So for this bed, for an example, as you can see, it's very square. It's nothing special about this bed. It's very low poly model, Revit model. So what I like to do in my models, I would select this bed and I would go to the three dots and I would replace the object. So now I will go to objects, home, and we can go to bedroom, beds, and now I could choose a more higher quality model, 3D asset from Twinmotion that I can replace for this low poly Revit model to actually look better when I get ready to render. So I can take this single bed, whatever one I choose, drag it over here to the drop library here, and we click on it and we can replace that model. So now we can just kind of rotate it 90 degrees. So now I have a more higher quality model. I can actually go to my material picker and I could change the color, I can change the material, and I can change the size. We can click on world space. So I use these tricks to kind of help my 3D model to be better in Twinmotion. Also, as you notice, you can also click on the tree and you can do the same thing. So we'll go to the three dots, we'll replace this object, and go to vegetation, and go to trees, and you can scroll down to just kind of see what type of tree that you want to use. You have different types. I believe for this particular rendering, I used, let's see if I can find it. I use Norway spruce. So you just drag that here and you can replace it. So this is typically how I approach my Revit LT models, just to kind of get my model from Revit LT from scratch, no materials applied, and I will import that into Twinmotion, whatever Twinmotion software I'm using, which I'm using 2024.1.2, and it works the same way for materials. You go to materials, as I showed you earlier, you can add glass. You can also add any type of other objects, 3D assets, and you just start building from there, and you just kind of use your creativity. You start applying 3D assets and different objects, and then you go from there, and surely you start to see that your model comes together. And details do count, so you want to be as detailed as possible while you're working in Revit LT before you import your model, because the thing about it is that you will have to update your Revit model and go through the process again, and then you can just go here to update it, refresh it, and it will change into the updates that you made in Revit LT. So it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth, but this is the most efficient way that I found that works for me. But you guys have any other ways, I'm interested, let me know, and we can go from there. And I will be back with another one.